This week on Continuum TV, the 7 Weeks in Asia team enters its final leg of ministry as they travel into the jungles of northern Thailand to preach the gospel to hill tribes scattered in these mountains. Join us next for the conclusion of this exciting summer mission. The 7 Weeks team faces their final challenge as Dr. Purvis leads them to one of the most beautiful and remote places on earth, the northern Thai jungles. Located 15 hours north of our ministry base, the team must take various modes of transport to reach the mountain they will minister in for the next 2 weeks.
So today I'm going to be the tour guide, and we're going to be taking them out back to some jungles, see some real jungle out here, maybe some elephant, and this tour will be fairly calm, fairly tame, and so we got some kids, and they're just loading up right now, and then we'll be heading out. Hopefully we'll be able to find a campsite, and yeah.
Not everybody gets the chance in their lifetime to go to the jungles of Thailand.
The team sets up camp in a remote field surrounded by tiny villages. Here, they'll build shelter, live off the land, cook their food by campfire, and learn to rely on each other and God like never before.
So we were just getting ready for breakfast this morning, and Jacob went to sit on the container with our food in it, accidentally breaking it, and then crushed all the eggs in it. So I ran around and we got these eggs together, picked out shells and made scrambled eggs. Had our scrambled eggs frying in this pan, looking all nice and toasty, and a frog jumps in them. And we start screaming, we fling the frog out. It was really funny. Never had a morning like this before. Come to 7 weeks.
What's your tagline?
Eggs are frog style.
We
We are digging a hole. The pastor asked us to dig a hole, so we're digging a hole. I have no idea. Probably garbage, but we're just digging because we got told to dig. Yep, like 5 feet.
Okay, it's easy to dig?
Oh yeah, it's easy.
Okay.
Easy for you, maybe.
Why? Liana, told me.
Well, some of us already dug a trench and have blisters, so it's a little harder for some of us today.
Is a rock on there or?
There's lots of rocks in here, like it's full of rocks. Hi, I'm with 7 Weeks here, and we're here right now. We're helping with the kids in the school. We're just playing with the kids, and we taught them some songs, and we did Jesus Loves You game, and now we're drawing circles and teaching them circles. I'm having fun, and they're so cute. The rest of the team is down the hill over there, and they're helping out with the village. And they're digging a big hole, so I'm told. So we're helping out down there, up here, and we're having some fun doing it, getting dirty or not. It's pretty good. The kids are really fun, right?
We came to this village right here, and we climbed all the way to the top where the church was. The ground was pretty weedy, so we were just there cutting down the weeds, you know, trimming the grass, making things look nice. And then we prayed for the church, and they're actually going to expand and build a new church. So we prayed for that as well. And now we're getting back in the vehicle and heading for lunch.
So, we were driving along to go back, and we came across that there was a pickup truck. So we went around him, but now we see that there's a big truck, and he's stuck in the mud, so we're going to help pull him out.
And it's a big truck with bricks in the back, and there was no way to get around it. So we thought, okay, we'll help him out, except the driver had left. So then Pastor Al hooked on with his Jeep, but then we were pulling, and then the front corner of the Jeep broke, and we didn't get the guy out. So we got the Jeep we did a patch and Jerry rigged it, and so now we're headed back to a school to put a weld on the Jeep.
Once the Jeep is fixed, the team returns to the Muddy Mountain Pass, which is the only way to the next village.
Around lunchtime, she wasn't feeling so good, so we left her here at the pastor's house to sleep a little bit, and now she's still really not doing so great, so we're going to leave her here overnight, let her get some rest, and Heather's going to stay with her so that she has somebody, and we're hoping she gets better by tomorrow.
Church up the hill to minister to kids, so just hang out with them, play games, and I don't know how long we're going to be there, but we're going to make the most of it with our energy, and we're going to have lots of fun.
Today we came down here then to this church in this village, and we just came to the village and said, hey kids, we're having some fun, come join us. And so we just finished with them. We played some games, we told a story.
What we're doing right now, which is hanging out with the kids. We did a Bible story, some songs, and some games, and now we're just kind of hanging out. If you're looking to step outside your comfort zone and do something completely crazy and fun and chase God this summer, then 7 weeks is for you.
You don't have to be perfect at making a fire or building a tent or preaching the gospel. All you have to do is step out of your comfort zone. When you do that, you'll be able to develop new skills.
It will change you dramatically. You get to meet new people and experience the culture. It is amazing.
I was stuck in a boring routine in school and then going to work, and I finally took the chance and decided to come on a summer missions trip and was just chasing God, and He totally found me. I can definitely say that 7 weeks is an experience worth having.
And you get a closer relationship with God. Come to 7 Weeks in Asia. So right now we're walking to a school to go minister to them. So we're going to be singing songs, playing games, and teaching them about God, of course. And then we're going to be teaching them some English vocabulary, which is going to be really fun.
And now we're gonna go to children home. Yep. And then we're gonna do to go do a ministry there. Talk about gospel, God story, or be some game and song, sing a song together.
So tonight we're at Emmanuel Children's Home, and it's about half an hour from, about 15 minutes from our campsite. So this is our last night in the jungle, and so we came to the children's home and we just participated in their devos, and we played some games with the kids and did a couple songs, just encouraged them or whatever, and then we prayed for the leaders, and yeah, just kind of chatted and whatever. And so now we're heading back to our campsite and we're going to sleep.
So I really liked the jungle trip. It was a lot of fun. We got to wake up really early in the morning, so around 6 It was really nice because you could see like the clouds over the mountains, and it was just gorgeous. You don't get to see that in Canada. Just waking up to a nice bonfire, it just felt like I was camping. It was so nice. And we got to have Milo, it was so good, and cook our own meals on the fire and help make the fire, which was a lot of fun.
At this leg of the trip, I had a pretty good experience. I really, looking at just what's around me right now, it's so picturesque. It's surreal, really. It's something out of a movie. Just how beautiful this area is. All the village tribes, and just seeing what God has done in these tribes is awesome. Unfortunately, I got a bit sick, so that kind of brought the trip down a little bit, but I was able to push through, and I'm still kind of getting over it, but things are looking up.
I've been really just challenged, guys challenged me just to step out of the multitude and just go for it, and to walk in what He has called me to do right here in the jungle, and just what God has called me in the future. And here in the jungle, there's a lot of things don't go perfect. Stepping out of your comfort zone, even though you don't know what's gonna happen, and to be willing to sacrifice what, is the plan, what you think should happen.
Out here in the jungle, we don't have a lot. There's no electricity, no bathroom.
It's not have a bathroom, so every time that we need to go to bathroom, we have to find a place to go. So it's really hard to us to do that, and then it have a lot of bug. When we sleep, I don't know, it have a lot mosquito, so I got bite a lot on my leg.
You have to rely on your team a lot, and the jungle really is a true test of your team, because everybody needs to pitch in, whether it's making the fire, cooking the food, washing the dishes. Everybody has to help, otherwise frustration is a problem because nobody's doing anything to help those who are working.
We have a lot of fun together. We help each other, and when I cooking finished, they always come and help and clean the dishes for me, so I don't have to do only me, but we also help to each other, and we also talk together, share. Sometimes some people have sick, we always come and pray together for that person.
The trip for me has been really cool, and just getting to know Jacob really well, because we're the only two guys, so we have a lot of fun together, and we've become pretty good friends. We're maybe not the type that would hang out together all the time if we lived in the same town or whatever, but through this trip we've been able to really get to know each other and just have fun, and yeah, it's been really awesome.
I got closer in a relationship with a whole bunch of people on the team, like Ariel, Naomi, and Liana. It was really cool because Ariel and I would just talk at church, say hi, how's it going, have little laughs here and there. But now it feels like I'm kind of closer to her, like she's kind of like a relative to me. It's really cool. She's a really cool girl. We both make a good team.
Few days when we've been out here, we actually have lost a couple team members because Melody and Heather are staying in town with the pastor because Melody has gotten quite ill.
I stayed in the tent that we built out of bamboo one night, and then Mel got really sick. She got jungle fever. So me and Melody stayed at the pastor's house here in the village, and so she could get better. Trying to talk to the pastor and his wife was really difficult because they don't speak English and I don't speak Thai. Pastor Al came back to check up on us, and we took her into the hospital at Chiang Rai. So she finally got some proper medication, but her fever has come down now, but she's still really sick, so we're going to take her back to the hospital to get an IV because she can't keep any of her medication down.
And I think the whole team's really felt it. It's a lot harder when all of a sudden you lose two people and you still have to work together. but we've done it, and I think that we're stronger for it, and we've got a lot of tight relationships that have been built.
What I've been learning all trip is just to keep trusting God and just keep, He knows what He's doing, and so we just have to trust Him. One thing that really struck me is when He said about the story about Jonathan and his armor bearer attacking the Philistines, and they went up to the rocks, and Jonathan said, "We'll go up there, and if the Philistines call us up, then we'll go up and fight, and maybe God will spare us." Pastor Al was saying about Jonathan went up there and did that because him and Saul were the only two guys with swords, and Saul wasn't going to do anything, and so Jonathan did. So it was just things that keeps telling me.
In Cambodia, he told me to lay my burdens down, I guess you could say. And at first I was like, oh, that's just my head, that's not him. I'm not gonna do that. And then he kept nagging me like, no, you have to do this. And I was like, no, I don't wanna do it. In going on to the jungle trip now, I asked Naomi to come and pray with me, to lay down my past, I guess you could say, which was really nice. So she came with me, we prayed, and I felt really good inside. And yeah, I felt good.
God has really shown me that what I want to do is becoming a social worker. He's really confirmed that for me, and just wanting to serve people, and just the more I see here and the more I hear and the more that I do, it just every day it confirms more that I'm on the right track.
As far as like vision, God's given me like a really cool, I guess, passion just for young girls. When I go back home, I want to start up Bible studies and have like once a month sleepover with some elementary school girls, just be an example to them and show them that you can be a Christian, you can have fun, and you can do your nails and eat popcorn and party with them, even though I'm 18 and I'm graduated and they're in grade 4. Just coming down to their level, God was showing me that they really need someone to look up to. They really need a healthy role model, so I'm excited about that.
Is we have to trust in God that Him gonna help us, because we don't know in the future it's gonna be like gonna be happen. So we have to touching God, because God is always with us.
At the beginning of the trip, when we first started going into schools, I felt totally useless, and I was like thinking, oh well, my teaching degree is going to be useless for missions. But then today was just a confirmation from God of like, you know what, teaching isn't useless here, it's actually something very useful, and I have a plan for this that you don't even realize yet. So that was really cool for me today.
So yeah, I love this jungle trip, and I'm glad I didn't miss it.
I'm a senior pastor from Ottawa, Canada. I have a son named Jacob. And of course, every dream of a pastor is that their son or daughter would rise up in their footsteps and enter into ministry. One thing I know is that I can't tell my son to enter into ministry. I just said, God, I put him in your hands. All of a sudden, one day, there were 2 ladies in our church that spoke to my son Jacob and said, Jacob, you should go to the 7 weeks in Asia. He went upstairs just to think about it, and immediately God turned him around and he said, I'll go. He spent 7 weeks in Asia, transformed his life. 4 different nations he visited in Asia. He came back a new man. He came back and announced to everybody that he wasn't going to go to college for business, but he wanted to go to Bible college. He wanted to get into ministry and work alongside of his dad. Wow, I was so amazed. If you have a son or a daughter, I say send them. If you are a teenager, come to 7 weeks in Asia. It will change your life.
These 10 young people have never had such a wonderful experience, have never had such a fulfilling experience in their lives so far. And we believe they're going to take this same spirit of ministry home to their areas. You know, they've been all across Asia ministering to people in desperate situations, and it's wonderful to have Jesus move through you and touch someone's lives, and that is totally life-changing. And Jacob's just sending this note home to his supporters. He says, 2 years ago, I never really wanted to go on a missions trip. I didn't think it was my type of thing. And that, I think every 7 week in Asia feels like that. This was never my type of thing, but somehow I ended up here. He says, going to a new country and having to give up your normal life, well, that was really something for him. And he says, thanks to everyone for a wonderful summer. And down at the bottom, he says, each country was a different experience. Last summer was probably the best summer of my life, and I will tell these stories about that trip forever. I'm so grateful to everyone who has supported me. Without you guys, I would never been able to do this. If you yourself are contemplating missions, I suggest you should go. It will change your life forever. God bless Jacob Redner. And it's so wonderful to me to see people's lives changed, and I know it's the same thing with you. And today, I want to give you a new 7 weeks in Asia mission. I want you to think of people around you in your life, people that you know, young people who need to be on this kind of an experience, and get them connected to our website. It's very easy, 7weeksinasia.com, and they can get all the information there to get ready to come for the next season of 7 Weeks in Asia. And again, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be different. You're going to be going into some new places like India this year. I'm excited about that. And so I really do want to leave you with that mission. Listen, people, this is so desperate, so very important that our young people rise up and experience this being used by Jesus, confronting the reality of their life and the usefulness. The Creator has created them for some purpose to be used by Him, and where that's actually going to happen. And a lot of them are not going to end up on the mission field, but there's something that can happen here that just will never happen at home. And so again, this is your mission, and let's work together on this. And I pray God's best on your life. I pray that God will use you in your situation, that Jesus can come through you and minister to those around us. And let me say that one thing that 7 Weeks in Asia does, and that each and every one of us need to do, is stop looking so much at ourselves and start looking out to others, looking out for others, and finding places to minister. Stop worrying about what we need ministered to us so much and start ministering out to others. That's what 7 Weeks in Asia is about, and that's what the gospel's about. And Jesus in you today will minister to those around you powerfully. So I'm just, again, releasing that blessing, being used by Jesus, being fulfilled in the call that He's called you with. And again, I want you to think of the names. Write them down, a little list of names. Okay, here's 4 or 5 young people that I need to point towards 7 Weeks in Asia. Maybe they'll end up going there, and maybe they'll end up getting their lives changed and getting that, you know, that just that settledness, that thing that God does in lives. It's so absolutely wonderful. So thank you for watching the whole 7 Weeks in Asia. If you want to go back and watch some of the previous episodes, they're available to you there on our website, wmcontinuum.com, and take part of those and just be blessed by that. So bless you today. We'll see you again next 7 Weeks in Asia. Well, we'll see you next week on Continuum.